why the Chinese press is imbalanced ahead of the Donald Trump-Jinping summit. CNBC correspondent in Beijing reported that while the United States media rushed to report on the summit meeting of President Donald Trump and China's President Xi Jinping, the Chinese media was relatively quiet. Normally, when he travels on business, especially trips abroad, the Chinese press often has to report very well. For the United States visit to meet the leader of the free world this time, the coverage of the national press should have been larger. However, when the two heads of two world's largest powers met in Florida in the early hours of China, almost no news coverage. There is no photo of Mr. Xi's visit. The discussions on this event seem to be completely silent. Only late afternoon on April 7th, the state media began to report in more detail about this high-level meeting, but the main articles posted key information, such as the president's message. Trump accepts the invitation to visit China by President Xi. Users on China's Sina Weibo social networking site are primarily focused on the fashion issue of Panchen Lama and the shaking hands of the two heads of state. The handshake looks intimate, a Weibo user wrote. According to analysis by political science professor Zhang Ming at People's University, the reason China's media is almost silent is because the Chinese government is still worried about the outcome of the high-level meeting in Florida and its influence on his image in the water. Chinese government officials are very meticulous in planning events and often find ways to avoid surprises. Chinese often attach the image of a leader with that person's ruling ability. If he does not have a good image, he will be in trouble, Professor Zhang said. Explaining further, Mr. Trump is very unpredictable, so there are a lot of uncertainties in this meeting. In China there have been gossip about how the United States attacked Syria, which could affect the meeting between Mr. Xi and Mr. Trump and send a message to China on the issue of Korea. The Trump administration has said it plans to put pressure on China to become tougher with Pyongyang, a longtime Beijing ally. For its part, North Korea conducted a ballistic missile test just before the Sino-American meeting. At a regular briefing in Beijing on April 7, the Chinese Foreign Ministry called on all sides to come down and need to resolve them with political solutions, and said China opposed its use chemical weapons. Zhang Lifan, a Chinese historian, says another reason for the authorities to control the media in the country is because he may be embarrassed if Trump gets in trouble. Chosen. Mr. Xi does not seem to be strong on this issue as he was drawn, and he does not want people to see that, Zhang said. This is why the Chinese state media reported too little on the meeting.